What's up, everyone? This is Silver Slayer, and welcome to your daily silver stacking video. Thank you for tuning in and supporting the silver stacking community. The best way to support this video is by liking the video and leaving a comment, especially with a topic like this. I would love for you to throw your 2 cents in there, so please leave a comment below. You definitely want to be subscribed, though. That's the big thing. I'm doing a silver giveaway, and the entry video is live. So if you want a chance to win some silver, go enter in that video. I'm picking 2 winners, so your odds have doubled. You have 2 different chances to win some silver for my 54,000 subscriber giveaway. That's not all, though. We're also doing a giveaway on the Silver Stacking Podcast. There's only a few slots left, and by the time you're watching this video, you might not be eligible because it's only the first 1,000 subscribers, but we're at 972. So there might only be 5 to 10 slots left by the time you watch this, I guess, depending on when you watch this video. So head over there. There will be a pinned comment for my giveaway and the Silver Stacking Podcast's giveaway. By the way, that channel is amazing. We post a new podcast every Friday. You don't want to miss out. Now look at this title. Here's why silver should keep rising in 2022. Now, a lot of people would say the opposite. A lot of people are saying, with everything going on with the FOMC and yada, 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 that silver might actually stay very low. But this article's begging to differ. So let's see what they have to talk about. I really want to get into their main points. I think this could be a good topic, especially since so much is up in the air. We also have to incorporate the unknown variable. That's what a lot of people forget about. So let's jump into this. It's been a volatile start for most asset classes, and with the NASDAQ 100 index down more than 10% year to date, and most growth stocks also remain deep. So it's been a volatile start for most asset classes. I mean, not to say much, right? Most growth stocks also remain deep in negative territory. However, among violent correction, precious metals have been giving up ground grudgingly, with gold and silver in positive territory year to date. This relative strength is a great sign because both metals tend to perform better when they are above their monthly moving averages and outperform the major market averages. So let's take a closer look. As shown in the chart above, the silver versus the S&P 500 ratio retreated to a multi-year support level, and that's in the fourth quarter. So many commenters were quick to jump into the bear camp when the ratio of silver versus the S&P hit new lows in December. However, for anyone familiar with trading precious metals, they tend to see lots of false moves. And not only has this breakdown not seen any follow through, but it's seen a complete reversal back above the key 0.005 support level. So they made a good point there. They said there's lots of false moves. And this is why I hate that S word, which is speculation. Precious metals should be based more off of supply and demand. I mean, it's tangible, right? It's not like crypto where it's just based off of news or speculative, rumors and myths and who say, or he say, she say. It shouldn't be about that. It should be how much is coming out of the ground versus the demand, right? But there is a lot of, and that's the new day and age we live in, a lot of speculation. So there's false moves, especially when the FOMC is going to come out and say something like they expect to or they hope for, right? And since that moves the dollar index to such a dramatic degree, that is also going to affect precious metals prices. Now, the false moves always do come through, though. They get exposed because when those real numbers get out, 7 rate hikes, and then 4 the next year, when the real numbers come out, which is probably won't be 7, that's when the markets do start to see the natural price. So often failed breakdowns can trap many shorts and leave most investors offside. Like I was just saying, you have to be extremely careful with this. And especially if you're trading in between these highs and lows, right? Especially with silver, that's much more volatile than even gold. So a recent example was silver's breakdown from the multi-year range in March 2020. That's when we saw silver at $11. The gold to silver ratio was 125 to 1. That was the cheapest we've ever seen silver compared to gold throughout 5,000 years. Gold and silver have been compared in value. So which did not see much follow through and immediately reversed back up through the support in late March. After regaining support, the metal doubled over the following 6 months. That's when, and actually a lot of people don't know this, silver was the number one performing asset in 2020. Number one. It beat gold, it beat Tesla stocks, Amazon. Silver was the number one performing asset. It went from $11 in March 2020 and, like you just see, doubled in 6 months. It looks like we could be seeing a similar setup in the silver versus S&P 500 ratio. Obviously, history doesn't have to repeat itself, but this suggests we will see silver outperform the S&P 500 in the next 12 months. If we look at sentiment in silver, this certainly supports a period of outperformance, both short-term and medium-term. This is because bullish sentiment for silver remains in the lower portion of its 3- and 5-year range, with just 1/3 of market participants being bullish, 35%. This compares to the S&P 500, where more than 70% of market participants remain bullish, and that's average reading over the past 90 trading days, even though the market has slid more than 10%. So from a contrarian standpoint, things are lined up nicely for silver as well. So what's the best course of action, right? That's the million-dollar question. As shown in the daily chart above or below, the metal continues to make higher lows and appears to be building the right side of a nearly 1-year base, a very constructive setup. The metal has strong support at $21 an ounce and $22 an ounce, and no strong resistance until around the $25 level. And given that the metal remains in a trading range, buying in the lower portion of this range is the best course of action, and it's always wise to take at least some profits near the resistance at $25. Now, I would never tell anyone to sell at $25, right? I would be very hesitant even telling someone to sell at $50. But I guess when it comes to, especially a lot of these people are coming from more from the SLV, PSLV. When it's digital, it's a lot different. It's a very different game. I mean, when we are investing into the physical coins, you have to incorporate premiums. Premiums are a whole different ball game, right? There's a whole disconnection, not only from the SLV or the COMEX versus real stackers, but also spot price versus the actual price of silver, right? They are so detached nowadays, especially, I guess this started from US Mint announcing there was a silver shortage, 2 years ago. That nowadays you really can't try to invest from that mind state anymore, or you will get burnt. So anyways, given that silver is trading at $23.70 an ounce, this is not an ideal spot to be entering new positions. Now, if you're someone who's not selling for 10, 15, 20 years or never selling, it really doesn't matter. If you buy at $20 or $23, what's the difference, right? Especially when you incorporate premiums nowadays, like this is pennies to the dollar in my eyes, at least. I don't know. Let me know what you think about that, right? Are you someone who like if silver's at $24, you're going to hold off because if it goes down to 22, you'd rather get, I mean, what's the difference? You're not going to be able to find any silver for $24 an ounce anyways. You're going to be paying at least $30+ for an ounce, even generic. So to me, when this is more for SLV type people that actually do go off numbers, or that are trading, even marginally or on a much more frequent basis. To summarize, while I don't see silver or the SILV as buys currently, I do believe both are greatly buy the dip candidates. Hence, for those interested in diversifying their portfolio, I would view dips below $22.20 an ounce on silver as low risk buying opportunities. I do think that the point they make with looking at silver from the setup, from its I guess number one performing asset of 2020, how it is similar, it does make sense. I don't like to just look at silver's price or the forecast from this point of view. They didn't incorporate any of the supply and demand or silver scarcity or any of that into this article, which has a huge effect as well. Like I was just saying, we can't buy silver at any of these prices because of the shortage, because of the supply and demand, because it's scarce. So this is more for someone who's investing on the COMEX. When when you're buying silver somewhere, they say go by spot price, right? That's what you're supposed to go by. But, and even local coin shops do this. But if you can't buy an ounce of silver for anywhere near the spot price, then is that really the price of that coin? It's silly to say that, right? If you're talking to your friend and he said, "Oh, how much is that coin?" "Well, I paid this price, but the coin is actually this price." You'd be like, "What? So what price is it?" The price you pay, right? Not the price that someone says it's worth if you can't purchase it for that amount. And you have to be careful because if you sell, you might have to sell closer to spot price, which is also why I do not recommend anyone selling for any type of reason beyond profits, and that would only require you to wait at least till the coin breaks even. But if you're buying it at $35+ and you have to sell it for 24, 25, then you're gonna have to wait at least a couple of years. Then you have the whole other side of the thing where if it's a bullion coin, it's pegged to spot price, but then if it's a high premium coin, they do appreciate regardless of spot price. So it depends upon the type of silver. Not trying to get too complicating, but you just want to buy it and hold it. That's the point I'm getting to. Buy it for $22, buy it for 25, who cares? Hold it until 10, 15, 20 years. I can guarantee it's going to be a lot more than $22 or $25 or any price you buy in at any of these ranges, you know? And that's what I think true silver stackers do, but a lot of people do look at more of these shorter periods. But if you are, it's probably going to be on the digital side. I mean, I do see some good points they made here. I really do want to spark the conversation more so, even beyond this, just throwing the ball in your court. Where do you think silver is going to go this year? Do you think it is going to keep rising, or do you think it's going to stay bearish or stagnant? And I would love to hear your reasoning why. That's the most important thing, is why you think that. So yeah, I'm going to wrap this video up here. I have another interesting video I'm going to be covering later in the day, talking about the Royal Mint's boss. It's crazy. It's honestly shocking, where I don't want to go too much into it, but the Royal Mint might be the first, and hopefully it doesn't happen to this degree, but they're almost going more of a digital route. They said that here, I'll show a little clip of what they're saying. Where is it at? They said, "We knew that coins were being used less and less. They're always going to be really important, but in smaller amounts. And they're starting to go the digital way. They're going to the digital side of things, the London Stock Exchange." And they say that since times are changing, it really is, which, I mean, it really is, if you want to be literal, but it's just an interesting article. I just wanted to throw that in there so you guys stay tuned, because I'm really excited to jump into this video. And I do think that since we are heading into this new digital technological era, especially with the silver shortage, mints might start trying to go that route as well to still keep some cash flow coming in, right? It only makes sense from a business perspective. But anyways, I'm going to wrap this video up here. If you thought this video was 1, educational, 2, informational, 3, at least entertaining, make sure to hit the like button. Make sure you go subscribe if you want a chance to win some silver, and go over to the Silver Stacking Podcast, where we're also doing a giveaway there. Lots of different silver given away to lots of different stackers. May the luckiest stacker win. Thanks for tuning in. This was Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.